So I was talking about procrastination is just a habit, and that if you created it, you can uncreate it. And that's nice to think about, but then it might come into the mind, well, how do we do that? And one of the biggest struggles that I had when I was, back in the day, kind of changing habits that I didn't like, is I would say, well, let's talk about procrastination. It's like, okay, well, I need to stop procrastinating. And I mentioned before that what you think about or what you imagine is what you project or what you create. And so even though we're thinking we're doing good by saying I'm going to stop procrastination, I need to stop doing this, whether you're procrastinating or you're talking about not procrastinating, it's the same coin, just two different sides. And so sometimes this might be hard if you do procrastinate, and most of us do, to kind of look at it and say, but if we used a different example, you might know someone who's tried to quit smoking. They always talk about stop smoking, and they might stop for a little bit, but they're always, I need to quit, or this is such a horrible habit. But then they start back up again. One of the biggest tricks or keys, or maybe even a secret, if you want to call it that, is to replace it with a new habit and then start imaging that. Also, another thing that is hard, I know some people on there say, I just quit cold turkey, or I stopped it just one day and never did it again. That's a very small percentage that can do that, and it's usually because something astronomical happened around that event and then they're able to stop it. It's much easier if you kind of wean yourself off of it. And so just don't kind of go cold turkey or go 100% the other way, because you'll probably swing back the opposite direction. So one last trick that I like to do is kind of playing with the mind and saying, hey, if we do this, then we can relax a little bit. Or that's all procrastination is just chilling out and putting things you need to get done at a different date. And so then kind of instead of fighting the mind, try to be a friend of the mind, if that makes sense. Hopefully these tips help. These are some of the things that I've done to try and change habits, or have changed habits successfully. If you have any questions, stories on things that have helped you change habits, post them in the comments. Other than that, we will see you next video. Thank you.